Welcome back to Inside Sources. Today, on this edition, I want to open the show with a discussion on Nigeria's national security architecture. Now, clearly, we've been dealing with the problem of insecurity for a while. And to join me in that very critical conversation is somebody that served in the Nigerian Army for 30 years, actually retired as the Director of Legal Services, after which he worked as a consultant to some of the service chiefs for 10 years and became subsequently, for another 3 years, the Director of Special Duties in the Office of the National Security Advisor. I'd like to welcome back to Inside Sources retired Colonel Ralph Bello-Fadile. Colonel, it's good to see you again.
Thank you very much, Laulu. My pleasure, as usual.
All right. So let us start from what the governor of Zamfara State said this week. The governor of Zamfara State, and he has said this before, he said, look, guys, these bandits that are ravaging my state, I know where they are. I can show you on my phone how to track them. The only problem that I have is that I cannot deploy security agencies. They tell me that they are waiting for orders from Abuja. Colonel Fadile, you were Director of Special Duties in the Office of the National Security Advisor for 3 years. Tell us, how do you respond to this kind of a claim by the governor of Zamfara State, Dauda Lawal? And it's not the first time he's saying it.
Yeah, the problem is people who are charged with the responsibility under the law are not ready to implement the law. If the law is properly implemented by those who are charged with it, then he wouldn't have to say that. He would just be happy to have them in. But people are delegating their duties and shifting responsibility to others who have no means of executing it. That is the major problem. The law says who is in charge of terrorism in Nigeria, who is in charge of security in Nigeria. We have the national security strategy. Nobody is following it. It's there in black and white what the responsibility of everybody is. You have the Terrorism Act, specifically Section 2 gives responsibility to who should be in charge, not the governor, because according to our constitution, the governor is supposed to be the chief security officer of the state, but he has no control over anybody. He is there at the will of the director of state security, the will of the commissioner of police, who takes order from Abuja. That is the truth. That is what we are facing. So everybody should stand up for his responsibility and stop shifting it to others. That is the starting point.
Okay. All right. So we're going to get into a little bit more detail, but I want us to start from that, your reference to the national security strategy. You said that it's not being followed. Can you just give us an insight into what you mean when you said that we have a national security strategy, but we're not following it? Can you tell us more about that, Colonel?
The national security strategies specify what not just the military, every organ of government has to do. You have a coordinator or a fusion somewhere that everybody feeds into with intelligence from the grassroots. And then somebody coordinates those instructions and assigns specific responsibility to who should take charge, who should go here, who should go there, and not the responsibility, for instance, of the guy in the defense headquarters, which the military, the soldiers in Maiduguri call him the media general. That is not his responsibility, for instance. He has no responsibility unless there's a joint service which is coordinating as ordered by the president through the Minister of Defense. Have you ever seen the Minister of Defense talking about security? Have you ever heard or seen any joint chief of staff or chief of staff of any nation going on press addressing security issue in the world? Only in Nigeria you see that. So that's part of the responsibility. Everybody has a responsibility, including, for instance, the Minister of Interior. He meets in the Office of the National Security Advisor on a monthly basis. The joint board meeting, they call it. Minister of Foreign Affairs, he meets there. And everybody is assigned his responsibility. And then the National Security Advisor say, you, go and do this. That's not there. It's in paper, it's on paper, but practically zero.
Okay, so you are saying that under the national security strategy of which you speak, we don't have the right people doing the right thing. That's what you're saying.
Well, you may have the right people, but they are not doing the right thing. They are not doing what they are supposed to do. Maybe that's what I should put it. You have people, you have well-trained individuals, both civilian and military and police, but are they doing the right thing according to the law? No. You know, terrorism is the responsibility of the National Security Advisor to assign individuals according to Terrorism Prevention Act Section 2, listed what he can do and what he should be doing. Are they doing that? He coordinates. He coordinates the SSS and the military and the police. He assigns responsibility for it. That's what the law says, not me. But is it happening? Everybody is going solo on his own. Why? Because national security has been monetized.
So when you say national security has been politicized and monetized, okay, can you explain what you mean by that for the benefit of our audience?
Because everybody it's like a business now. People say politics, churches, now security. Everybody is grabbing what they have. In fact, like somebody was telling me that we have multi-billion generals in the military now. Everybody is not using the fund as it should be done. And then take the Zamfara State as an example. Yeah. What is the problem? He's PDP. The last person there was APC. PDP converted to APC, and now Minister of State for Defense, who works. He didn't. I don't know if he came out to say he who works with the Chief of Defense Staff, bypassing the Minister of Defense. No. And given instructions on what to do or what not to do.
No, let me understand what you said. You're referring to the Minister of State for Defense. Is that
yes?
Okay, and you said that he is bypassing the minister. Is that what you mean?
That's right. He said so. The governor said so. So you see the politics now. He was the former governor, and he had problem. The new one came, wanted to fix it up. He couldn't. If they won't talk. They go behind him. They go behind him to meet with bandits and give them money. I'm sure he said so. If you get the abstract translation, that's exactly what he was saying when he said Abuja didn't. No, he didn't want to come out openly. It's a fight between PDP and APC in Zamfara State because the former APC governor is now Minister of State for Defense.
I see that.
That's he didn't come out. I don't know if he came out. If you listen to the outside translation, that's what he was saying indirectly. So that is the politicization of security that I'm talking about.
What about the monetization? What do you mean by the monetization that you also mentioned?
Yeah, we have seen where kidnappers demand for ransom, and we have seen soldiers or civilians going to give money and taking their own cuts. We have seen video of that in Kaduna and in Niger State, I think. You have seen the local government collecting money, say they will give this to, and then take their own part. So it's a source of making cool money. We have seen soldiers complaining. They are given whatever amount they are given, their boss takes half and gives them not Russia. We have seen video of soldiers complaining that their boss are taking money. And I'm told if you go to Abuja, any new building you are seeing, they probably belong to one of the officers or people involved in maintaining our security. And then the other aspect of monetization is, I had the discussion between El-Rufai and the Office of the National Security Advisor about whether money is paid or not paid. Should that be an issue at all? Should it even come out? if we are sincere, it shouldn't be public discourse, because the soldiers are there saying it, the civilians are there saying it, the farmers are there saying it. They are all there complaining. So it's deny or not deny, that's not the issue. This is there. People are saying it. Go Sokoto, look at Kasina. They are there. There's a local government who came out openly and said, look, I have to settle these people. When he settling them, he's also settling himself. The question of denial doesn't come out at all.
So you say that that a lot of money is exchanging and inordinately.
Yeah, you have the middleman, you have the kidnappers, you have the victim's parents, and then you have the middleman who transfers the money and takes his own cut. People are saying it openly with video.
I mean, these are very troubling allegations, and you're right. We've had.
I'm not making any allegation. I'm saying what the people are saying.
Yeah,
I'm not the one saying it. It's there in the cyber world.
Well, but part of the unresolved issue is that the government, the NSA, is saying that they don't get involved in paying of ransom. And what seems to be in the open is that a lot of the victims are the ones that are organizing this ransom by themselves. I mean, those are the things that are in the public domain. Is that what you're saying, Colonel?
The NSA didn't say so. It is one of my meeting daddy that said so. The NSA won't come out and say that. He didn't say so. It was somebody from his office that said so. Look, I can give you a practical example of money changing hands. I have a friend of mine, he's dead now. The wife was among those kidnapped during the train matter. The son came down, the son lives here in America. He came down to Nigeria to plead for his mother. He met his father's mate, his father's townman from Delta. The Delta man said, oh boy, this will not be seeing what government will do. Maybe go find money, maybe settle them. Government know they do now settlement to everybody, they find money. This guy had to raise over 100 million naira to free her mother, to free his mother.
Yeah. Yes.
This is from personal experience.
Right.
Money changes hands. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, that's the
now who took the money to the bandits? That is is for you people to go and sort it out. But I'm giving you one pickle example that I know of.
Right. Yeah, of course. That's the point that I was also trying to make, that, yes, I don't think anybody can deny the fact already that victims have to come up with money. I think what the NSA office is denying is that government is not paying, which was what former Governor El-Rufai was saying, that the NSA's office is actually...
They can go tell the Marines.
Okay, all right. Okay, let's move on.
They can go tell the Marine. We know better.
Okay, Colonel. Let's move on. And I wanted to ask that now, one of the things that I am aware, and a lot of Nigerians are aware of this, is that, I mean, since the administration of, former presidents, you served, as Director of Special Duties, when President Goodluck was there, then President Buhari, and then President Tinubu. All of them seem to have significantly, made expenditure, disbursement regarding security, significant disbursement. My point is that a lot of money has been going to the budget for security for some time now, since we've been dealing with this problem of insecurity. But do you think, Colonel Bello-Fadile, that that we can justify those expenses when we look at the recurring problem of insecurity? Is it money wasted, or haven't we spent enough? Colonel Bello-Fadile.
Well, I will talk relatively. When you talk about security or black budget, there's no quantification amount you can spend. But whether you are getting the result, the expected result, is relative. So I do not want to generalize specifically. It's relative. Yes, some progress are made, but is that enough? Is that a change? That is the point I'm making. That is the point I am making. The people charged with the responsibility, are they carrying it out as it's supposed to be to justify the expenses they have? You are talking of training. What training do they have? We are talking of equipment. Do they have the right equipment? Technology-wise? The technology we have today, we didn't have it when we were there 12 years ago. Those are the things you need to look at.
Okay, so Colonel Bello-Fadile, if you were to cancel the NSA, an office where you worked as a director, in the past, if you were to cancel the current occupant of that office, what do you think ought to be done now to ameliorate the level of insecurity in the country? In your own view, you have experience. You are a retired colonel, and you've also worked in that office. What specific counsel can you offer?
Number one is to take the Terrorism Prevention Act, go to Section 2, and see his responsibility under that act. First, coordination. Second, meeting with all those who are involved. Coordinating and fusion center, which I understand they call it cyber security center now. We had proposed a fusion center before we left office, a fusion center where all information come in and somebody, the NSA, who had the authority under the Terrorism Prevention Act to designate who and who should take responsibility with the advice of the Attorney General. Was the Attorney General doing anything with security? Yes, he has. He has responsibility under Section 2 of the Terrorism Prevention Act. Is it happening? What's
his responsibility? Sorry, what's the responsibility of the Attorney General specifically?
The Attorney General is to monitor that there's compliance with the law, there's prosecution of people arrested, of people found guilty, not handcliffe. Yes, there's under the terrorism strategy, there's radicalization and rehabilitation of this individual. You hear they rehabilitated, they've gotten to, and the soldiers say the people they arrest and are arrested and handed over are released. You see them back again. You have some of them back in the military and sabotaging their efforts. So the responsibility is very clear. It is the responsibility of the NSA to say who takes who, not the Chief of Defense Staff, not even the Chief of Army Staff. He coordinates. The law says he should coordinate and designate who should take action. When we were there, we had the fusion center, semi-fusion center, where he coordinates the activity of everybody. Live coverage. Say Air Force, this one is going there. Go. Now you have Air Force dropping bombs on their own troops, on own friendly forces, because there's no coordination. You go there, you bomb the place. The army is nowhere near to occupy the battle. The queen of the battle is not there, which is my infantry. We are never there when they bomb, and then you bomb. They go inside the bush. You fly off. They come back. No coordination. Hey, Air Force, Army. There's targets here. Army move close by. We have a start line. As soon as you get there, you give the instruction to the Air Force. He releases. The Army goes in. The infantry goes in and take over, pushing them further away. That doesn't happen. You bomb them. They go inside the forest where there's forest. You can't do anything. In an open place, you bomb. They join the civilians, the community. No soldier on ground. To coordinate that. That's what the law says.
Okay, but all of that can't be the responsibility of the NSA alone, I'm sure.
No. That, you see, you remember I mentioned even the Minister of Interior. I mentioned Foreign Affairs.
Yes.
I mentioned Central Bank Government, Minister of Finance, Custom, Prison. They all have responsibility, which is coordinated by the Office of National Security as it stands then. And the law has not been changed, as far as I know.
All right, so
you have institutional failure, no coordination of intelligence gathering, everybody going on his own. Today, you hear the media general talking. You never hear the Minister of Defense. That shouldn't be the case. He has no business addressing the press or appearing like I'm appearing now. He has a PRO man. It is the Minister of Defense that has the responsibility to tell us what is going on with the military, what is going on with our security, not the Chief of Defense Staff, not even the Army, Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Naval Staff. No, it is the Minister of Defense's responsibility to address issues. He is not to be seen or heard. He advises, he coordinates and tells me that this is it, this is it. Is that happening? No. The president said, excuse me.
I wanted to ask, so when the president summons the service chiefs, the Chief of Defense Staff, who is, coordinates all the defense, Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Air Staff, Chief of Naval Staff, Inspector General of Police, DGSSS, when he summons them to his office, which he has the authority to do, and then you have the constitutional specification for the National Security Council. But from your own experience, because I also have a take on this, what's the difference between the two? Do you get what's the difference?
It's the same thing. It's the same thing I'm talking about. I can read the composition of the National Security Council. That's exactly what we have listed, including Minister of Defense. And at the end of that meeting, it is the Minister of Defense that should tell us what happened. They may not tell us what they have advised the president. Everybody is assigned responsibility when he calls them. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because there are times, and this also happened during President Buhari's time when I served. There are times when the president will just summon the service chiefs, and it's not a convocation of the National Security Council. And I used to wonder whether that was the president just using his discretion, and whether not calling the Security Council itself in full, whether that is not undercutting the capacity of the system. Do you understand what I'm saying, Colonel?
That's exactly what I'm saying. People are not ready to follow the law. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly my point. People are not ready to follow the law.
It would be good to actually go and dig, how many times the National Security Council has actually met, as we are discussing it.
Please check. I'm not aware. Please check and go to the Constitution, see the rules they have to play. It didn't specify how often they should meet, but they should meet and advise the President of National Security. In fact, the Constitution also makes the National Council of States also has one of their responsibilities to advise the President on the security situation in the country and what to do.
Yeah. I mean, since now we're talking about constitutional bodies, I remember that Mr. Femi Falana, he has been making the argument that under the Constitution, that there is the National Police Council, where all the governors come together with the president to determine issues around national security as regards the police. And his own argument has always been that, yes, state police is not a bad idea, and I'm coming to that, but that we have not even used the opportunities that the Constitution created to get the governors to be much more influential in what happens in the police using the constitutionally designated National Police Council. What do you think about that, Colin?
I agree with him totally. It's part of the thing I'm saying, because you are talking about the military, that's why I didn't bring that one in. Yes, it's there, clear, clean. It's supposed to meet. It's there, but what do we have? The Commissioner of Police in Kogi State doesn't take instruction from the governor. It is what the Inspector General says that goes. Point blank.
Yeah, and a lot of the time, the time for those decisions to come from Abuja is often late, to be able to deal with the situation.
Yeah, sometimes he doesn't even call. And if you look at it, the state governor fund maybe 50-60% of the activities of the work of the police in that police command in his state. Yet he doesn't have a say in what they do, unless it is in compliance with what the IG says. And who, so that is the link. And then who controls the IG? Mr. President.
What's your own view about state police, Colonel?
Well, now, the concept of state police Nigerian is talking about, or the president have asked them to create state police, they don't know that concept. They don't know what they are talking about. When you talk about state police, it is not what I believe the Nigerian people want. They want community police department, community policing. Now, let me give you the difference. State police, we have it in America, went back first in Pennsylvania in 1905. That was when you had the first police force. And state police force. In America, we have different names for it. In Texas, for instance, it is called state trooper. In some other states, we call it highway patrol. Okay. All right? Yes. The responsibility of state police as a concept, as practice, here in America and in England, he has about 5 responsibilities, which does not include security, community security, criminal justice system. First, he enforces law, the state law that cuts across the local government. Second, he provides protection for state officials and government. Second, he patrols the road, traffic patrol. In emergency cases, he helped the local police department. And then in major crimes within the state or county, he investigates. He investigates major crimes. Now, is that what we want, the state police? I don't think so. And then, I was talking with one of my general friends. He said, look, Bello, yes, the president has said he wants state police, they should create it, and the National Assembly and the Attorney General should go and work it out. And I was telling him, the government will not allow it. Number one of them is the IG of police. He will never allow it. You check section 214 to 216 that deals with police. He will never allow that to be changed. The National Assembly do not have the lever, or even the Attorney General, to do that. Yes, the president said, I want state police created. What type of state police are you talking about? Are you taking in the model of America or Britain or Germany? I think what we need is the decentralization of the current police force we have to the community. Community policing is what we need. And how does it work? Here, the community policing, the chief of police, for instance, New York's chief of police, New York State Department, restrict only to New York City. And the people are elected by the people or their people. Is that what we want? Is that what we need? Yes, that's what we need. But are we going to get there? No. So when you talk about state police, you have to be very careful. What do you mean?
Well, I mean, we are talking about it. This is the whole idea.
Yes, the public should be involved. What type of state police do you want? Do you want the one like the America? We call it any name you call it, but they have restricted responsibility. But if you are talking of security in the community, it is a community policing that you want. It is a community police that you want. You should decentralize the current police force we have and give the community where even the governor has no say on who is elected or who runs it.
Well, you're right. I also I know that the chief of police in New York City, is in charge.
On his own.
He runs the show and he doesn't take orders from anybody. But Well, it's interesting, Mr. Fadile, you are there in Houston. It's interesting that President Trump is beginning to deploy the National Guard. That's another conversation entirely.
Yeah, and a judge just said he wants to take over our cities and create national police.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what the judge said. He wants to be commander-in-chief of the national chief of police, chief of national police.
It's interesting that what we are trying to exit from is what Mr.
Yes.
Trump is trying to bring America into.
Let me just once you mention it.
Yes.
When there's problem, for instance, the trooper, the state trooper cannot handle it. He brings in the National Guard for the state. He doesn't call the military. You saw what happened, the progression in California, for example.
Yeah.
You call in the National Guard, you mobilize them, and then if it is beyond them, you bring in the military. The military is all over the place in Nigeria, doing police work.
Yeah.
That is it. Part of the problem.
Thank you so much, Colonel Ralph Bello-Fadile. The truth of the matter is that I think we have an opportunity in this crisis to be able to reshape our national security architecture. And I think you are right. What the Nigerian people want is that the police in the community, you know, even if it's the state, has authority to deal with the insecurity in that particular location without having to wait for somebody in Abuja to give orders.
Yes,
I agree with you on that.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contributions and your services, you know, and thank you for coming again to Inside Sources.
I appreciate it. Thank you, and some other time.
All right. Thank you very much.